Hi guys, it's EGC here. So today I'm here with another the standard deck profile, and this time what we're covering will be Maelstrom, and we finally get him into the D era. Uh, for people don't like old cards coming back, might feel is again, but like to me, I actually kind of expecting him to be back first as a Stoichia part of the Stoichia clan, because we don't have a lot of different choices, but the first thing that is more presenting or like the old Vanguard history, then probably will be Maelstrom, because we always have the blasters, overlords there. So, and then we have Gear Chronicle as well. So they are like the main protagonists or main bosses, character units, which Maelstrom is also another one. And I have to say, they only release Maelstrom for one set, but so far the deck is doing pretty good. Even though it's not a deck that pushing you to like a very top tier, but is something that is very worth playing. And just one set card, I feel a lot more comfortable than a lot of different Stoichia decks that actually releases, and I think it's pretty cool to play with its own gimmicks and being able to actually do something when you ride first and still have a chance to win. So without further ado, let's go into the deck profile. Right line, I'm using the Maelstrom right line, which is Teal, Eric, Argos, and Maelstrom. So going through this right line, when a 2 right on a grade 1, you will get to pick up an order. When 3 right on 2, you will get to look at top 7 for a Aqua Force unit or a Tier Dragon called your Rega Circle. So just by doing these, you get yourself an order that can help you out a lot. You get to call a unit that is going to help you to do multiple attacks, or at least prepare for it. And because it's Tier Dragon, we always know what is coming next. But so far this bright line is very good for the Aqua Force deck. And Maelstrom himself, even though he is not going to restand himself, he is going to apply a withstanding ability to one of your units for the first time they attack if your opponent is a grade 3. So you ditch your hand, call a Aqua Force or a Tier Dragon from your soul to your Rega Circle, and then if your opponent is grade 3, they get the skill that when they attack and it's the first time of the battle kind of boss button, they withstand immediately. So as long as your opponent is grade 3, you don't need to worry about hitting more than 3 times. You always can get the 4th attack as long as you get 3 of the front row units ready. That's all you need. And the second skill for Maelstrom is when this card attacks the Vanguard, if it's the 4th or higher battle, you get a draw 1 every time one of your opponent's units. For Stoichia, we don't actually have a lot of retiring skills and options. We do have orders doing so, but we don't have a lot of cards actually making this happen. Like Magnolia, you don't get to do it. You can get to attack the front row, but you don't get to like pop a unit. Soga, you can use Alchemy Magic, you can use Order to do that, but Rorowa doesn't, and then Leonor, so far I don't think she does. So it is a very important skill that allows us to not only draw a card, just purely attacking, not gaining any attack points, but we get to pop a unit that we think annoying. And sometimes against current deck types that involves more than 3 attacks except Soga, it is important to actually kill the combo pieces if they stay at the back row, or maybe they are in the front row that you actually need to pop them. You get a chance. Now, before I actually go into other units in the main deck, let's go into order first. So this is the only order that I'm playing, Judgment Maelstrom, and it's the Maelstrom Fleet order that we get to pick up with our grade 1 skill, and the rest you need to draw it yourself. but this card is actually helping the deck so much. Now, you get 2 skills. When you play this card, you run both of the skills. First one is you actually get to call a Aqua Force unit or a Tier Dragon from your drop zone to your Rigger Circle. So it's a kind of a free monster reborn. Because compared to other reborn orders, you always need to like counter blast 1 or you need to soul blast 1 to do it, but now you just need to play this set order. And then the second skill is you get to plus 5k for each other Judgment Maelstrom that you have on your set order, basically your order zone. So first time you get it, you don't get the 5k plus, you get the monster reborn, and starting from the second time, each time you play, you will get 5k plus. So if you have 1 reborn, you have 2 reborn 1 and plus 5, you have 3 reborn 1 plus 10, 4th you reborn 1 plus 15. That's basically how it works. And by doing that, you really don't need to mind your Rigas being like attack, because if you have this in your hand, next time you just play it and bring that unit back, and that unit can also get to have a chance to gain power. So sometimes like a 10k grade 2 that you don't actually get to hit, which is for flagburg with sentence assault, that if we don't get personal right, sometimes there's a lot of attacks that it can't hit, right, if you're aiming for the Vanguard. But with this, you actually can pump them back up to a number that can hit the Vanguard, so opponents need to guard for it. And to me, most important is it's a kind of a free monster reborn, so that's just great. And so far per game, I'm only using like 1 to 2 of them. Sometimes I get too much in my hand that I do kind of want to cut it to 3, but I rather see too much of it that I still get to spam it rather than I don't see it at all, except the one that I pick up with the right line. So I'm still running 4. If I have too much, I can simply just ditch 1 for using the right line, so that won't hurt at all. I usually just get to plus 5, plus 10 max, never go to plus 15, but if you really get there, it can help you a lot. Next, 3 of the Maelstrom, we need souls. We need more Tier Dragon in souls so that we can use some Maelstrom skill to actually pull them out. So it's important, and personal right is actually quite important in this deck, even though we do have a Judgment and Maelstrom to have plus power, but more power is still helping us a lot to fight against defensive triggers, so personal right is still very important. And then I'm using this dragon. This is the new card from the set. I was running 2, but now I'm cutting to 1. The skill of this card is when this attacks, if it's the 4th or later battle, if you have a Maelstrom fleet order card in your order zone, for the battle this card will get plus 10k, after the battle ends it will go into soul. It's good enough to fill in your soul so that you can keep using it, but the weak point of this card is it has to go into soul when after your 4th attack. So if you say attack with it first and do a total of 4 attacks, at the end of your turn this won't get into soul, this will stay there. So it has to be the 4th attack. So the best thing is you prepare first time, the attack is the 4th time, go into the zone, next turn use your Maelstrom to call it out, attack, and then reset it, and then when you get to 4th or more, you get to attack again, go in, and you recycle. But that's a little bit hard, so that's why I'm cutting this card to only 1, but it gets to plus himself for 10k, so I think it's still a good beater, but you just need to make sure the time is right, because if not, it just stays on the field, and when it gets popped, then it just gone. And then everyone's favorite, in a pulse. It is something that I first trying to avoid using, because it's like I don't like to spam in the pulse in every single Stoichia deck. I don't mind Prison Dragon in every single Stoichia deck, but not in a pulse. But after actually trying this card out, I can't resist. I have to use it. The reason is because compared to this card, this will just go into so as long as you do 4 or more attacks and it gets you to draw 1. And once you get 1 into your soul, you can just keep reusing with your Maelstrom to kind of let it having its own skill to restand. So I just can't resist. Yeah, that's basically the reason I'm using in the pulse, because it's too good in the deck. It's a tier dragon, it gets into soul, it gets me draw 1, it gets to easy to get into soul, so I can reuse it. That's too much of a reason to just use it, right? Next, 4 of the Tidal Assaults. So these are the only grade 2s that I'm running so far. Because Tidal Assault is just so good, it is when you don't have your Maelstrom restanding skill active, like when you ride on your grade 3 first while your opponent is in a grade 2, this is a card that helps you to do more than 3 attacks. Because as long as this card attacks for the second time, card lost 1, after the battle ends, you can restand it. Just that simple. And because it's a 10k, that's why just my Maelstrom is good enough to pump it a little bit power. Also with personal right to make sure you hit your opponent's Vanguard. And it also gets a skill to Soul Blast 1, 2+5 for your Maelstrom, and it's not a once per turn, so if you attack for 2 times, you can do it 2 times in total, and pump your Vanguard to 23k, which is quite easy to adjust your power line if you need to, but you do need to Soul Blast a lot if you're doing so. So I don't suggest you to do that. I usually just do it 1 time, just attack for the first time, that just check what happens, and if you need, when you go for the second time, you can just pump power. If you don't need to, you can just even save it so that you can have more souls to actually use for cards like Hoya Assault. So this card is yet another good card when you don't have Tidal Assault, when your Vanguard skill is not being able to withstand your regards yet, because he actually allows you to switch units over after being boosted. So this also helps this card, because what you can do is you have your front row units there, and yet this card stay behind your Vanguard, and then like just attack 1 time, 2 times your Vanguard, and then 3 times, and then switches to the 4th and swing. Of course, you don't get to retire and draw with your Vanguard, because it's not the 4th attack, because you're giving this card the 4th attack, but it's a way to just activate your 4 attacks while you don't have Tidal Assault, while you're right on grade 3 first, while your opponent's on grade 2, is to get to do some stuff. And it's still a 23k beater, so still kind of helping you out. Or you can even just put it in a pulse behind, so whenever your Vanguard gains triggers, give it to these units, and then just switch them over, do a swing, and then go into a soul, so you can have an easier life next turn. Because if you don't try to put this card into your soul, even for your next turn, what you can pull out is your right line, or when you personal right, another Maelstrom. So this card is helping you out, and if you can do like your Tidal Assault, you can do your Maelstrom, then you can just do more attacks. Say you use Maelstrom skill to call this attack 1 time, restand, that's 1. This attack 1 time, restand, that's 2. This attack another time, say this attack another time, that's 3. And then this attack with this booster, that's 4. And then you switch another rear from the back to the front, and then use this to attack for 5. And say if you switch this one to up, then you can do 6 attacks. That's like basically the max you can easily go for, and it only costing you 1 color blast, 2 color blast, 1 soul. 2 color blast seems a lot, but you are doing 6 attacks. If you are like trying to rip up your opponent's hand, I think as a return that can give you a lot of stuff, because that's flagburg not easy to do, because we are not using any promo cards here. If you're using like a flagburg promo, then you can probably still being able to do 6 attacks without too much of a trouble with the promo at the back, but you still need to commit a lot of stuff to actually do it. But these ones, you actually can do a lot more efficient, I would say. So that's why I like Maelstrom a lot more, and the pressure that this deck can apply is very different. Also, it's because we have cards like DF and the Titan. So DF can actually pull out something that when I don't have Judgment Maelstrom, so I can pick up basically the key units that I need for combo piece, for attack power, and she can simply gain 5k without too much of a problem, and you can switch her out to the front to at least do another swing. And Titan here is kind of the same, because this card, whenever your other units is stand by card effects, you can Soul Blast 1 to have this card plus 10k. So a match that I actually do is like I attack so many times, and then when a finger attacks, I give power to here because I restand out of the regards to get another 10k, and then I just swap this out to do at least a 28k swing. Person right can be 38, that's still a big number. But I don't actually use this card that much, but it's a good to have. So if you really want to like change into something else, you can probably change to another DF if you want. But so far I think this ratio is doing me great, and I'm happy about it. And then 2 more Trident for gain the souls, so we have more souls to use, counter charge, because we can simply do 5 to 6 attacks as long as we have 1 extra combo piece. So it's just so easy to gain the counter blast back for you to get prepared in case your opponent trying to do some damage deny on you. You can at least get to open 1 counter blast for yourself before you end your turn, so that your opponents will just think, oh, I can just give him another bit more damage, or even if they don't give it to you, you're not stuck. And then PGs, just because they're PGs, and then we can go into triggers. Triggers will be easy. Stoiki over trigger, even though we do attacks a lot, the extra crit is actually helping more, so I'm using this instead of the generic one. Soaring crit because we want more souls, 4 more crits, 3 of the 10k draws, and then 3 heals with 1 effective heal. So just trying to make sure the crit part is there, so every single attack for me is aiming to rip something off, like take the hands off or take more damage. That's why I'm going for a more damaging lineup for the triggers. Not using fronts because in this deck you actually need to think a lot of your attack sequence, and you don't always get to have 2 regards standing. So instead of using fronts, I'm using the 10k draws that actually help me to draw some combo pieces, or like the Judgment Maelstrom, so I can reborn units to do my combos and such. Yeah, that's basically it. And then heals, I just use this one because most of the deck type that I face will likely going to withstand something, so I just get myself prepared. If you see more crit, then you can change it to the plus crit one. If you don't see any of those, you can just turn back to another heal, and that won't hurt you at all. Yeah, so that's basically the deck list. And if you have any questions on how this deck is going to pilot, how to run, feel free to let me know. But I can simply just show you one of the ideal situation for you. So say this, and let me explain. If you're going first, so you run on this, right, you don't get to restand a regard. You can still call it if you want to, but if you have a like inner pulse, and because you get a surge, you probably will have one of the tidal assaults, then you already being able to do 4 attacks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put this into your soul so you can get ready for next turn, right? Or if you write on this, and this is your turn while opponent is also a grade 3, then you probably will just use this first, use your Argos first, because when he attacks as a 4th or later battle, it gets +5 and on hit to draw 1, and you probably still need this. And then you are hoping to do something like this, and then up to you, one of these, say this. Alright, so you give the skill, and you might want to just pump and make sure it hits first. That's the first time, you stand. And then that's the second time, and then you will probably be attacking a regard, because just by himself it won't hit, right? But he doesn't need to attack the Vanguard to actually restand, so it doesn't matter. So that's the second time, and then you restand. And then now it's your choice. You want to draw, or you want to get prepared to put this in, because this will go into back into soul anyway, so staying in front won't help you out. Then you can choose to actually attack with this first, right? Even though it's kind of a waste, but at least it does its job. And then the 4th one, I'll go with the Vanguard, so that when all your power can go to here, that's 4th attacks, and then you get a draw 1, retire 1, and then this attacks. After this ends, switch and swing. So just by this, you're doing 6 attacks, and then end turn, put this 2 in, and you can get prepared. And this can feel free to intercept as long as you have another Stretching Maelstrom ready, and next turn you will just play it, right? And I have even faced like more critical situations where it's like this, that you just can't believe. Something like this. I even tried like this. So what can you do? It's like you just swing, 1, switch, and then 2, 3, 4. You still get to do 4th attacks with this kind of setup. It happens, and it's just that easy. Even though the like overall attack power won't be high at all, but still get to happen, right? So that's why I like this deck so much, that even I get a kind of a break hand, except the only moment that I'm giving up is my hand is full of 4 of these and nothing else. Then of course I will give up. If not, I can just fight with any kind of situation, winning or not. I did fight the B heroes that they go aggressive, and they also have a lot of cards to defend, and I almost can win the match still. So this deck is actually can apply a lot of pressure, and I just like it so much. Even though my favorite Story Kid deck will still be Solar, but this is a deck that I need to worry the less, because it's so kind of complete that if it gets a little bit more support, it will definitely be a tournament deck, I think. That's my opinion. So I just hope we can get some kind of good support for this deck later that can just help it a lot. Then everyone will be great. But so far, it's a deck that can do more than 3 attacks on the first turn, and can still do a lot better as long as your opponent is on grade 3. That's already good enough for me. Yeah, do let me know your thoughts on Maelstrom. Did you try it out? Are you going to try it out? Any other different combo pieces that you're using? Feel free to let me know, and yeah, I will just reply in the comments down below. If you like this deck profile, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more unboxings, deck profiles, deck fights videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.